Hi, good day. Welcome back. It's Eddie here from Dahua Technical Maidenhead. Today we're gonna just do a quick little video on how to factory default IP cameras. First, what I am gonna show you is a couple of the tools that you might need. And then we're gonna go through the different form factors of cameras, from PTZs to turrets to bullets. So first, some of my main tools that I use is just a little screwdriver with a star, which is a JM 2.5 inch little star, and a T10. This is just a little adapter with an Allen key on it, but this is just to push the reset buttons, because some of them are quite tiny, as you'll see a little bit later in this video. Some cameras don't have reset buttons. They've got two copper little holes in them, and for that you can use, we've got these little single wires that's got two metal pins on each of them. If you don't have this, there are a few different things, as I will explain, that you could use. So this is just normal metal wire that you can cut, as long as it is one piece like this, because you're going to bridge those two little holes together in order to reset the camera. Or if you really want to, if you really don't have any wire or anything laying around, the next best thing to use is a paper clip. For now, we are going to stick to wire, which is, we're going to use this particular wire to demonstrate in this video how to reset that particular camera. So what we are going to start with is, we are going to start with some turret cameras, as majority of you known as dome cameras. So this is our little IP camera. So in the front you'll see there are three screws holding it down, which this little handy tool comes in to open it up. Once you've got those three screws out, then the front cover pops off. Now for this particular camera, it is, I would say, quite simple. So the reset button is right here. You're just going to push and hold that down for 25 to 30 seconds while powered on, and after the 30 seconds you will release. The camera should go back into its factory default state, which means back to 192.168.1.108, and you can then reset it up from there. Let me grab some bullet cameras, show you the differences of reset buttons on those particular cameras. Once we are done, we'll then jump over to the PTZ. Let me grab those cameras quickly. Okay, as you can see, we have three different bullet cameras in front of us. So every camera is completely different on its own. So this particular camera is an analog camera. This does not have a reset facility whatsoever, whether it's a bullet or a turret. It does not come with a reset on it. With these cameras, they're pretty much standard. They don't have a brain like IP cameras where you can, you know, configure IP addresses and things into them. So they do not come with a reset facility on the camera itself. So we're going to put the analog to a side. We are going to focus on the two bullets. So with this particular bullet camera, it has a flap at the bottom that we've already opened up. Once you open up that flap, you'll see it presents you with a couple of buttons. So it's where you can put in the SD card, it's for your focus and zoom on it, and then you'll see basically recessed into the cover there is a reset button. So for this, you will use something sharp like a little tool, or maybe like a point of a pen, and again it's going to be the same process. While the camera is powered on, push a button down, 25 to 30 seconds while it is powered on, and then once the 30 seconds is up, you release. It will reboot, go back into its factory default state, which will allow you to then configure it from there. So with this, it's literally, you just put whatever it is. So I've got my tool here. that will go in, and 25 to 30 seconds it should be good to go. Now this is where the difference is going to come in. You're going to come across some of the older cameras like this camera here. This is a very old camera, but nonetheless you'll still have a site that have some of these cameras laying around. Now this is going to be a bit more difficult. So this has 4 screws on the lens of the camera that needs to come off. So I've already taken them off, and as you can see, the whole lens comes off. Now this is where it's going to get a bit more difficult, because this particular camera does not have a reset button facility on it. However, it does have 2 recessed copper holes where we are going to use this particular wire to reset the camera. Once again, same process. Powered on, 25 to 30 seconds, and it should factory default. So we're going to get a little bit closer on this and show you exactly what to look out for, and so that you can see exactly what I do and basically follow the example. So I'm going to show you, we're going to now get this little wire with the 2 steel pins or metal pins on it onto the PCB board, and again the device needs to be powered on. So we're going to get that into these little copper points here onto the board, and there you'll see they're basically bridging the 2 little holes together with 1 wire. 25 to 30 seconds and your camera should default to factory, and you'll be able to set it up from scratch again. So this is, I would say, the more uncommon technique around, since everything is now going to reset buttons. So the last one that we are going to focus on is a PTZ. Majority of the PTZs do have reset buttons, especially the new ones do come with reset buttons. They're just in different areas, but there's always a cover that you can just open up, and I'll show you now on the PTZ that we've got available. Okay, so here we've got a PTZ. And as you can see, so your PTZ is basically covered completely. You've got a couple of screws at the top, and then you've got some screws, 4 big screws at the back, and then if you bring it further down this way, you'll have a little cover here that's got all your reset buttons and everything inside that. So let me get that open quickly. There we go. Okay, so here you can see there's a SD slot there, and then just above the little black jumper here is a reset button. So this is why I say, like, I can't get my finger in there without bending the little jumper there. So that's where this whole tool comes handy, and I can then just pop that in there, push the button for 25 to 30 seconds while powered on, and then once it reboots, the camera, the PTZ, will do its sequence, or as we call it, its little dance. And once that is all done, then it should be ready to be all set up and ready to go with the new password and username that you select for it. So all that you now need to do is just reconfigure it, and you should be good to go. And that's practically it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon, and leave a comment if there is anything that you want us to cover. And yeah, hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you.